What's up everyone, Opsoldier here. Today is going to be a down the line middle discussion between throws and how powerful they are in Mortal Kombat 11. So we hear this all the time, especially with things going on in Twitter. Lately there's been a lot of comments on how throws should change in Mortal Kombat 11 and going forward how we should approach throws in Mortal Kombat 12. I'm going to go ahead and go over a tweet that kind of sparked this statement about throws being powerful in Mortal Kombat 11 and how they should change. So we're going to keep thinking 50-50 throws are okay, lol, then they reward you for your opponent teching the wrong way, basically being human. Now before the just duck it bro people come through, we have so many options to debate that. Hashtag no more throw 50-50s. So today is going to be a discussion about basically a objective standpoint on how we should approach throws in the next game, or just to kind of convince you if throws are powerful or if throws are not strong enough. I'm going to go ahead and give you my biased opinion. I personally do not think throws as a whole are really powerful in Mortal Kombat 11, except for a select few characters. There are some characters that really benefit from throws in this game, but most of the characters were left in the dust, or their throws just really don't warrant them being able to take the risk all the time throughout the match. Let's go ahead and talk about the advantages to the defender against throws. I have Johnny and Katana here strictly because their offense on throws are not very powerful. So let me go ahead and just show you the properties of Katana's throw. So this throw is her forward throw. It throws Johnny full screen and only has 6 hit advantage, which basically means you only have enough space to walk back. There's no meaty here. Johnny can just straight up hold up, and he goes right over any projectile or any type of meaty you're trying to do. So for example here, this back throw is only +5. You don't get any type of meaty here. Johnny can just jump straight out. I'll use her fastest jab to show this. So clearly here, Katana doesn't get any advantages off her throws. Her throws throw you full screen. Even the back throw that throws you mid-screen, you can just jump out. She gets no Oki at all, no advantages. Neither throw has any type of crushing blow on them. So for you to nerf a 50-50 throw would hurt Katana further, strictly because you would be able to tech with one button. So all you have to do is press the tech button and Katana loses more offense compared to the offense she has right now. This is the same problem for Johnny. Although Johnny's gives him a little bit more advantage at +17, I think it's a little bit different in the, that's the live frame data. I think it's a little bit different in the actual active frame data. They throw Katana full screen, both of them do. So Johnny, again, is not going to be a character that really benefits from any type of Oki, and his throws don't have any crushing blows attached to them. So there's really no advantage to not teching a throw against Johnny. So now we're going to talk about some of the defensive options between these characters' throws. And we'll just talk about these characters specifically because they have the slower mids in the game. So in case you didn't know this, throws are generally 10 frames. The regular throw is 10 frames. That's a property that's across the cast. Now, the issue with this is that throws, even though they're 10 frames, they recover very slowly. So, for example, if I'm Katana here and I go for a throw, Johnny has all day to punish this. See, I even waited, and I still got the punish. The reason why this is important is because you can duck for a long period of time and block, and the throw will still be recovering. See how I blocked and let go of block for a long time and still got the punish? Now where this comes into factor is basically this concept called duck OSing. Duck OSing is what prevents you from being able to even have to worry about throws going 50-50 forward or backward, because with a duck OS, all you have to do is let go of the block, hold block again, and you can defend against certain throws because the character does not have a fast enough mid to go at the same frame of a 10 frame throw. So for example, if Katana does back 1, 4, and then she does throw at the same timing, Johnny can both duck this throw and block Katana's fastest mid, which is a slow 13 frame mid. This is the same problem Johnny has because his fastest mid normal is 14 frames. He does have a 9 frame rising star, so he can use rising star, but you're not really getting much damage for rising star off of a throw. You're getting 126, so it's a little bit around a throw. So you're trading 126 and the possibility of getting some sort of Oki and then a throw. Since this doesn't really fit in the offense section, let's talk about down 2 KBs here. Down 2 KBs are one of the most highest damaging moves in the game, and they're achieved by either ducking a high or a throw, which is a property of a high. The thing that makes down 2 KBs so powerful is the fact that they do so much unbreakable damage just simply by ducking a high. This is achieved also by doing the duck OS trick. The duck OS trick will guarantee that you get 27 to 30% unbreakable damage just by simply doing 2 down 2s back to back. Some characters also get really strong unbreakable damage off a down 2 KB via their armor break, and it's just too risky for someone who goes for a throw to get duck OS'd and get down 2 KB'd into an armor break that you cannot break out of. A good example of this is Kano's armor break. You basically never want to get down 2 KB by Kano because it's basically guaranteed. He can just armor break you as soon as he does his down 2 KB and continue to make it unbreakable via a restand. Some characters can easily link their down 2 KB into Fatal Blow, doing over 40 to 50% in damage. Now there's been some debate whether down 2 KB should be removed from MK12 or throws should be buffed. Are they too powerful? Are they a good solution to defense? I'll come to a personal verdict, but that's up to you to decide for now. Either way, down 2 KBs really stop opponents from deciding when they want to throw due to the combination of both the down 2 KB and the duck OS option. So as you see here, both Johnny and Katana suffer from the duck OS trick. This trick can be used to prevent yourself to have to deal with any type of 50-50 throw at all in certain situations. Another common one with the duck OS trick is definitely Scorpion. Scorpion can be duck OS because his overhead is too slow. If your overhead is fast enough, you can use the overhead to blow up duck OS, or your mid has to be around 10 frames or faster. So if it's a 9 frame mid or 10 frame mid, it'll work. Some people say that an 11 frame mid will work also because 11 frame is literally 1 frame between 10 frames, so they have to duck OS within that 1 frame, kind of similar to fuzzy guarding or blocking high and low. That's why like Liu Kang's forward 4 sometimes works even though it's 1 frame off from 10 frames. So the duck OS trick is a little bit strict, but against characters like Katana and Johnny that just have really slow mids at 13 and 14 frames, generally the duck OS trick is going to be a very effective way to up your defense and really punish your opponent for going for a throw. So what are the answers to duck OSing when you're Johnny and Katana on offense? Well, there's pretty much only 2 universal answers to counter duck OSing, and they don't really stop it. One universal option is the short hop. This option works because you cannot duck and block the overhead short hop at the same time. Now you can't use the short hop as an option every time because not only is it a punishable move, but some overhead short hops are simply reactable due to the slowness of the frames of the short hop animation combined with the slowness of the overhead. But it varies from character to character, with characters like Fujin basically being forced to short hop because his mid is just too slow compared to 10 or less frames. Another option is to simply delay your throws. So characters like both Katana and Johnny really benefit from this because delaying your throws basically stops your opponent from being able to decide when they want to duck OS. They basically have to duck OS really quickly multiple times. If Katana delays her throw just even slightly, Johnny has a chance of getting thrown because if I do one duck OS trick, I'm gonna get hit by the other delayed throw. Now there are 2 really strong weaknesses to delaying your throws. One option is to just keep pumping the block button, but then that actually opens you up to getting hit by the slower mid simply because now when you pump the block button, you're not timing it at a certain specific point. So it basically opens them up to being able to either delay throw you or either hit you with their really slow mid because you're just basically duck OSing multiple times. Now it is a little bit harder to still hit them with the slow mid just because the mid is slow, but it makes your character take less chances in a situation where your opponent is duck OSing. This also clearly makes you open to just getting poked because you're basically giving up your turn to delay a throw. Right now you might be wondering, well Ops, why don't I just poke him with my poke? My poke's going to be fast if my mid is slow. Pokes generally aren't viable here just simply because there's pretty much no reason to go for a poke because they can just duck OS after the poke. You weren't rewarded anything. Therefore, the duck OS trick is really powerful against characters like Katana, Johnny Cage, Spawn in certain situations, Baraka, Scorpion, Scarlet, and that's it. Most other characters have some sort of solution to duck OSing. Here are some counters to duck OSing that are hard solution to this defensive mechanic. One is, as we discussed earlier, a faster mid, either 10 frames or below, at least when it comes to normal throws. Another one is an overhead. Overhead stop duck OSing strictly because, again, as we showed you with the short hops, you can't duck OS overhead because the overhead hits overhead and you're ducking. The other option is a mid command grab. Characters like Collector, Kotal Khan, and Garrus prevent duck OSing strictly because of their command grabs. Cabal is also special when it comes to duck OSing because even though one of his best mids is 12 frames, therefore you can duck OS him, he does have a 9 frame mid. It's just in the competitive variations that most people use. Generally his 9 frame mid doesn't lead to anything because you can't cancel into any sort of combo. So being able to duck OS Cabal is actually a really viable strat against him. Same thing goes for Fujin. Fujin's only real option is to delay his throw or do a risky short hop. Cetrion has a 10 frame low, which also prevents her from getting duck OS. Some characters have multiple options to deal with the duck OS. Terminator has his overhead while also having a mid command throw. I did forget to mention Robocop also has a mid command grab, preventing him from getting duck OS, while also having his main string be 10 frames, the same speed as his normal throw. Other characters that don't suffer from duck OSing because of their command grabs are simply the same speed as their main string are characters like Kano, where his forward 1 is the same speed as his command grab, and Aaron Black, where his back 2-2 is the same speed as his command grab. These characters also benefit from being able to beat duck OSing. Some characters, it's really close. Characters like both Scorpion, Scarlet, and Sindel generally have an option to deal with duck OS. Sindel being her forward 2, Scarlet being her back 2, and Scorpion being his back 3. But they're really close. Sometimes you can react to them even when you're trying to duck OS, which is insane. Basically, the duck OS is a really strong option against a lot of opponents, and therefore you should really pay attention to being able to use it against certain characters because it can up your defensive game against throws and prevent the tech option at all. You don't have to tech when you just can duck OS. Let's talk about microducking. Microducking is one of the last strong option selects against throws in Mortal Kombat 11. Microducking works when your character is slightly minus and you are not locked down by a jab. Scorpion's 112 is -6. This means that Scorpion can duck after doing this high and punish a high attempt by microducking. The reason why this is so powerful is because he will be able to down 1 you, basically stopping you from being able to take your turn back with a slower mid. This works because when your opponent is doing a high string, Scorpion ducks the first part of the string because his stand 1 comes out before the second hit. Scorpion can also duck a throw. A throw is also a high. When you go for a high, he'll be able to microduck it and punish it for big damage. As long as you're -6 or below against 7 frame jabs, or 7 or below against 8 frame jabs. The counter to this is to either walk back, which opens you up to getting poked again, poke, which will make you lose your turn again, jump, and you can also delay down 2 here. But for the most part, you're taking the guess on if they are going to microduck your high or microduck your throw. This is why the microduck is so powerful in Mortal Kombat 11, because basically it locks you into having to make a decision and not being able to take your turn back 100%. So if you want to use microducking as another option to deal with throws, it is definitely a very good option. There are some other parts of throws that actually can counter this pretty well, but we'll discuss that in the offense section since it's much more advanced. Next, let us discuss the Autotech. Autotech is simply a ability to be able to both tech and react to a string by blocking at the same time. So for example, Nightwolf's 111 is considered a fake autoshimmy. An autoshimmy is just a jab string that will hit you in between a tech window when you attempt to both tech and block a string at the same time. As a real autoshimmy, you'd get hit by the string trying to tech within that window. This is because there's a certain frame of timing where you can tech both the throw and also block the string. Some characters, their strings are so fast that you can't tech a throw and block a string at the same time. For example, Cassie, but we'll discuss that later. Both Cabal and Nightwolf have this issue, with some characters having harder to react to throws and strings, but the same thing still applies. We will discuss the frame data between autoshimmy and fake autoshimmy in the offense section, but for now, all you need to know is that certain autoshimmies are fake because they're too slow. Nightwolf and Cabal have fake auto shimmies. Basically what that means is, as long as you react to the limb extending and you tech at the right possible time, you will be able to both tech the throw and block the string. And the way that you do this is you simply tech as soon as you see that a limb is extended, and then you block immediately. So you hold block, you tech, and then you instantly block again. Obviously this is a little bit harder online, which makes this more of a viable strat. No different than some other things that change basically online and make MK11 play differently online. But in the highest level, you will see this really often, them being able to tech the direction of the throw and block the mid at the same time. This is one of the main reasons you see pros react to throws, because they're not actually reacting to them, they're reacting to a limb extending, and it makes it much harder for characters that don't have options to deal with this to open you up. A good example of this is Katana. Her string doesn't even look like an auto shimmy, and it's way too slow, forcing you to rely on the 50-50 throw direction. Basically, once you learn the auto tech, you can not only tech throws without having to actually react to them. The only thing you need to know is the desired direction your opponent wants to throw you, which makes it much harder for your opponent to throw you, forcing them to use stage positioning or reads to stop you from teching in a certain direction. Some characters can actually blow this up by, again, they can either have a fast string like Cassie that goes through the TechOS option, or they have a slow mid or overhead like Devora's forward 2, as Dragon has discussed before in one of his videos, Nightwolf's forward 2, and Frost's back 2 I think works. It doesn't always work 100% just because the animation is different than her actual throw, but those are options because they are slower strings, thus preventing your opponent from being able to tech during the right possible time, strictly because the TechOS option only works on a certain frame where strings will be able to be blocked and you will be able to tech the throw. This also goes back to reacting to throws. So in MK11, you can actually react to throws because throws start up in 10 frames. The first frame of window where you can react is 12 frames. There's a 13 frame tech window, and then the last possible frame is 24 frames. Yes, you heard me. 24 frames of a tech window to react to. So basically, the average human reaction speed is supposed to be 16 frames, but most players have agreed on 20-ish frames is generally going to be really reactable. It also depends on the animation of the move, and throws actually have a very seeable animation, thus making them easier to tech. Them being 24 frames of the last possible tech window makes it really easy to react to them too, simply because above the 20 frame average of human reaction speed, you'll be able to react to them. Now, obviously, there's so many things going on within a match of Mortal Kombat 11, thus why people don't react to throws. They're looking out for things like mid-strings, movement, jumping, all those things. So I'm not saying that you won't get hit by a throw every single time you play, but being at 24 frames, they're definitely reactable. You definitely have time to react to them, thus making throws a little bit weaker when it comes to offense and giving the defense some options. Now, the final option against throws is obviously having to deal with crushing blow throws. That is one of the main complaints that people have about throws being super powerful in Mortal Kombat 11. But some characters, it's actually better to take the throw and not tech at all, or tech a certain direction, because every single time you tech that direction, there's no option your opponent has after the throw. So for example, Cabal is a very good example of this. His forward throw pushes you so far away that you can just play neutral after you get thrown, but his back throw pushes you right next to him. Now there's an issue here, because if you tech back throw and you get escape failed, what happens is you get thrown full screen and you get an escape throw failed. Why is this important? Well, you just loaded his back throw option for the crushing blow throw. Cabal only has one crushing blow throw. It's his back throw. But what loops is also his back throw. So basically his back throw is on the wrong side when it comes to the crushing blow, because if you just tech back throw every time, you'll get thrown full screen, and even though you load his KB, he'll never be able to back throw you. He'll only be able to forward throw you. Now you can try to make a tech guess, especially if you're in the corner or if he's about to throw you in the corner and you don't want to go to the corner. That might cause you to accidentally get thrown or get the wrong tech. But if you just tech back throw the whole game, basically Cabal can never hit you with the back throw KB, and he can never hit you with a grab loop unless you're in the corner. Melina is the same way, even though her forward throw doesn't have a tech throw window escape failed option. Her forward throw KB is triggered by not jumping or not getting hit for 10 seconds. But her forward throw also loops. So it's another issue where you just have to tech forward throw every single time you get thrown, because if you tech forward throw every time, you'll get thrown by a back throw and you'll never take the KB while also never getting throw looped. This is a big issue with quite a handful of characters. Characters like Rambo, Melina, Cabal really struggle from this simply because their KB throws are on the wrong side of their looping throw. But there are some characters that do benefit from this. Characters like Sub-Zero, Nightwolf, usually characters with KBs on both sides. They benefit from having KB throws strictly because you're forced to either tech the direction of getting throw looped or you have to take the KB throw. And either way, if you tech wrong, you load the KB throw. But we'll discuss that a little bit more in the offensive section. Now on to completely taking the throw so you don't get opened up. So we discussed briefly earlier how you want to take the throw in the direction that is most desirable. So if a throw throws you full screen, you want to take that throw, but you don't want to take the direction of where you'll get throw looped, because either the KB is on that side or you'll just simply get throw looped on that side. Well, Melina and Cassie have a situation where you just always want to take the throw. So it's a little bit different, but it still applies the same logic. So for example, let's start with Cassie Cage. Cassie Cage is special because her 111 actually blows up the Autotech OS that we talked about earlier. So if you try to tech during her 111 and try to tech when she does her throw, so again, all you have to do is react to a limb being extended, you'll actually get opened up by 111 simply because 111 is so fast that you don't have time to tech and block the string at the same time. So most people will say that this is super uber powerful because Cassie basically makes you have to not react to the throw, makes you want to take the throw, kind of like every other fighting game that has unreactable throws. That's kind of what an auto shimmy basically applies. It makes the throw unreactable because even though you react to it, you can get blown up by getting hit by a string, so it makes you want to take the throw, just like every other fighting game where you want to take the throw because throws are unreactable. Well, not exactly, because Cassie's throws don't give her any type of Oki, and they don't loop. And even if she wants to get Oki, she has to take risks like do shoulder charge, which she can do to check movement, but it's just so risky. Melina just has to block and then she can punish. Her forward throw shoots Melina way too far away for her to do anything at all. Maybe she could get a kneecapping in, but the kneecapping could be delay wake up to jump, so that's not an option either. Now Melina is special because her throw does loop. So we talked about command throws a little bit earlier. Command throws are special because they cannot be teched. They do not have a tech window. There is not a tech button. You have to guess command throw by either jumping or ducking or short hopping. Certain backdashes can dash out of command throw. Characters like Sub-Zero, Melina, sometimes they can backdash out of a command grab, which gives them another option. Melina is special because her command throw only does 10%, therefore incentivizing you to take the throw because it just simply doesn't do enough damage. Even though the command throw loops, eventually the Melina player is going to go for a mid, so you could just take 3 of these and either wait for your bar to come back, where you have a defensive option to either roll up 3, up 2, roll forward, or you can just keep taking the command throw until Melina finally does a back 1-1, which is the same frame as her command throw. They're both 10 frames. Even though it does give Melina mix, but the problem is her command throw just doesn't do enough damage. If it did maybe 14%, that's usually my cutoff as a player. This is kind of more subjective. If it did like a little bit more damage, then yes, Melina would be a threat with her command throw, but because it only does 10%, it just doesn't warrant, especially with all the wake up options in this game, it just doesn't warrant her being able to command throw loop you. So in this particular case, you definitely want to take the throw, just simply because the throws don't do enough damage. Alright, so that is the last section on what defensive options you have against throws. As you can see here, there are multiple defensive options. We have the duck OS, we have microducks, we have Autotech, we have the wrong side of the throw and taking the throw in the wrong side, and also we have taking the throw when it does not lead to Oki, or taking the throw when the throw just simply doesn't do enough damage. They're clearly a bunch of mind games on the defensive side, but I am not going to disregard the fact that there are definitely some offensive characters that have really powerful throws in this game, not strictly because their throws are powerful, but maybe because their mids are so strong, their offense is so strong, or it could be because their throws are powerful. There are definitely characters in this game where throws really benefit for them to use, and there are really strong grapplers in this game that make you not want to take the throw because they do so much damage, or they lead to a very oppressive option. But anyway, that's the cutoff for the defensive section. I'll see you guys in the offensive section. What's up guys, I just wanted to quickly thank everyone who watched this vid. This vid is a long researched 3 years worth of information that I've learned from playing the best players on PC and just understanding fundamentally how Mortal Kombat 11 works. If you really liked the vid, please hit the like button and subscribe. There will be more information like this where I'll condense and try to help you guys understand Mortal Kombat 11 a little bit more fundamentally, while also having beginner videos for people to get into the game. Mortal Kombat 11 is definitely one of my favorite fighting games of the new coming generation, and I just want to continue to support it while giving you guys as much knowledge as possible. This video did take really long to make, so if you can give me any improvements in the comment section below, or have opinions on the topic, please let me know. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the offensive vid, where I'll give my final verdict on if throws are powerful in Mortal Kombat 11.